Hey guys, did you know there's this thing called spring break that you get to go on? You get to not be in school for a while. It's going to be great. You could be out for a whole week. Did you know? Wow. Yeah. Alright, you could call it something else. I assume that's what they're talking about. Yeah. It's okay, I'll just say the phone.
Plane might crash.
Plane might crash?
I'm going on the plane.
Well, I'm not going on planes. I don't know. You're like, well, your plane might crash. The one I'm not taking?
Plane could crash into
I mean,
the car
that'd be-
you're in.
Okay.
Highly unlikely.
I'm also tired. Hate my routine. It's terrible. Also,
Okay, so we need to find a way to get more people to class. They might be online, but it would be wonderful if they were here. It makes the classroom experience better.
how many people?
There should be 17 people in
How
this
many
class.
people are in the chat?
One, and I don't recognize them.
No one.
And a new person. So, here are the labs we've been working through. I have graded labs 2 and most of lab 3 by now. I'm working through when I have time to get these labs graded, but I will be grading labs 4 and 5 soon. Please, if you have not turned them in quickly so I can grade them. And we are working right now on a lab involving pathfinding and navigation meshes. And I want to mix it up a little bit and start talking about finite state machines today and see how it might help with what you're doing. And probably Thursday, if we can get to it, we'll see where we are. I want to talk about behavior trees and how those are a different way of capturing the AI behaviors within our intelligent agents for the games. Okay, coming up is your presentation. I got tool submissions from almost all of you. Here are the times when you will be presenting and what you'll be hearing about. So, on Tuesday, April 7th, we'll hear 5 presentations about 3D modeling tools. Blender, Maya, Vectorworks, Tinkercad, 3ds Max. We will hear the next Thursday about some 2D graphics and 2D levels. Allegro Sprite Editor, Pixel Editor, Ogmo, AutoTileGen. And then we'll be talking about some audio stuff the next Tuesday. Milky Tracker, GarageBand, Auto Tracker, SFXR, and BFXR. And then that Thursday, sort of a grab bag, vector graphics, 2D graphics, and audio tools. And we still need one more person to tell me what tool they're going to present on. But that should give you a day. Start to write that day down. And I'll send out by the end of this week what my expectations are for these presentations. They're going to be 12 minutes long. You should talk about the tool, give us a demo of the tool, and have something ready for us to work on after you present. Part of what I'll be doing as one of the labs is you pick 4 of these tools that were presented and work through the tutorials that other people have provided. That will give you that experience of going through them and turn that stuff in, demonstrate. That's how we're going to have you gain some experience in the tools that you want. You're going to learn about 17 tools, pick some of them. So you need to make sure you have that exercise, small little project for people to work through. It doesn't have to be a 20-page document that they have to work through, but just something small to say, open this up, click on this, make this. A couple clicks later, aha, you have a shape. You have this done. It shouldn't be terribly complicated, but enough to get them some clicks to say they've been introduced to the software. Similar to the demo that you're going to lead us through to say why this is a good tool that developers need to know about and how it could help you make your games. Okay, any questions about the presentations? They will not be auto-advanced slides. So, just to let you know. And somebody thinks this is a really cool idea. Good. Yay. Back to what we were talking about in Unity. We're currently working through making a fetching game. You want to have a lot of different pieces come together. We're going to have a nav mesh. We're going to have interaction with a GUI. We're going to have some pieces happen of our world being baked. This is my simple demo to show you what I had in mind, and I'll walk you through how it works, and then I'll recreate some pieces of it and sort of talk about the new piece I wanted to introduce today. So I created a level, and it has lots of different pieces in it. Let's just watch it, and then I'll go through and show you how it works from the creation part. So you're standing here in a park, and you're like, okay, go fetch. Oh, it came back. There we go. This is my dog. Go fetch. Runs up those stairs. Comes back to me. Okay, go fetch. I didn't implement everything. It still goes to the exact same place. But this should be the idea. It goes out and fetches a number of times. It comes back. And it comes back to me wherever I go. And then it goes on to a new level. So, new level looks somewhat similar, but runs out, goes and fetches its thing, and then comes back to see me, etc. Does that help conceptualize? Hopefully that was clear last time what I was hoping for, but something simple like this. Obviously I was not throwing it to a certain location. I was not doing anything with physics. It was just saying, hey, go to this spot, but it was going and coming back to me according to the nav mesh. And it was walking up some stairs. It was able to do that because of how I built the nav mesh. Now there's something weird in Unity 5 that when you change levels, it changes the shader. Notice this looks different than the first level. It swapped levels on me, which I told it to do, but it's no longer a nice white picture with gray. It's a tan picture with tannish gray. That's not supposed to happen. It doesn't happen when you actually build it out. At least that's what I've read online. People said this is a bug because Unity 5 is so new. It's not supposed to switch your shader like this, but it only seems to happen in the scene and game part within Unity. It's not going to happen when you export it and say, let's go build it and turn it into something that happens. Okay, so be watching out for that. Any questions about the goals and motivations of what we're programming? Yeah. What?
What does it do?
What does what do?
This?
This has a dog that goes and fetches.
No, what does it do?
When does it do? Oh, okay. I was like, you should know that one. Okay, so it is due. We're gonna have it due on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got time. I'm gonna leave time at the end of class today to work on stuff, and then Thursday we'll talk about some new pieces, but keep on working on it. Yeah. Question.
What about groups? Because last class period you said that they might be bigger than just 2.
Yeah. If you want to make some bigger groups than 2, that would be fine. So, however you want to organize yourself into groups right now, that's fine. I will be thinking about your groups for the final projects after this week during spring break. I'll be seeing the presentations again and just thinking about who's going to know what tools and what's going to make a good team and how people have worked together, what's going to happen. So that'll be coming up. But for right now, just put yourself into groups and try to work on this together. It gives you that experience of how do I make a game with other people and not just by myself. You might want to learn some tools of GitHub and some other ways to share code. Those might introduce some wrinkles. It's good to get those worked out before you try to do the competition in the 72 hours. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Question?
Do you want us, in our game, to actually throw some sort of object?
Yes. This was just a demonstration purpose of the general idea. I do want to see some kind of angle. Hey, here's where I'm trying to shoot. Similar to a golf game is how I had it in my mind. You have some kind of swing and power, and then okay, now here's how I'm throwing it. Something gets thrown when it hits the ground, then the dog goes and fetches it and brings it back.
I can think of one like draw a ray from yourself. Like how would you start to draw like an arc away from yourself?
You could look into how to draw a Bezier curve. I know you can do it with debugging, and I think there's other ways that people were looking about line renderers that you could use. But a ray would be fine for me, just to give you a point where you need to go. If you want to start looking into the Bezier curve, that's beyond what I'm really looking for at this point. But you can go jump into that if you want. Okay, so let's see some basics of how I made this and see some of the parts of the AI that I wanted to discuss. Okay, save this stuff. Let's go make a new project. Fetch 2. Okay, obviously I need some more pieces, and you should be familiar with this stuff by now. Let's import a character. I'm going to throw in a base for my world. A lot of pieces being brought in. I probably didn't need everything. That's what makes our game so huge. But let's make a plane in the world, make it nice and big. 4x4. Throw in my character controller. First person controller. Smack right there in the middle. And let's start adding some objects. I need to have my world created. So here's a simple cube. Raise it up to be at the right level. Throw a couple of these cubes around. Whoa. Not up in the air. I want it to go out. Let's go out there. Zoom back out. Let's pick all these cubes. Throw them around for us. Okay, and what do we have to do to make the nav mesh happen? Let's see what we remember. What do we have to do? They don't necessarily need rigid bodies. They could be made into obstacles if they were going to move. If we want to bake it and make it really fast, we make them navigation static things. And now, when we bake stuff, save your scene. Sounds good. Level 1. I can bake it, but what did I forget? The plane itself. Yes, the plane itself also needs to be navigation static. And now things can be baked. Okay, so we've got some areas to avoid out there. It's looking good. I need to make more things happen. I'd like to make some steps like I was seeing before. Let's make this nice and big. And let's put some steps in front of it. Oh, right, my skinny screen. I made it even smaller. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So here's how I'm going to do that.